Making a jersey is not as simple as it may seem. It takes about 2.5 years from the time that you're going to launch the jersey to be able to go from the design phase all the way to the on-field phase. We started working on this 1933 throwback uniform back in January of 2023, knowing that right around that same time was when we had opened the Hall of Honor Museum. So it was a natural tie-in to go to a 1933. In April of 2024, we finally got complete sign-off on the jersey, and then it took almost another year to get that through production. I think the fans have really embraced this jersey as something different because we wear black, we wear gold, we wear white, right? So this was the gold jersey that they hadn't seen for a while.
There's never a bad time for a bye. The Steelers came back from Dublin with a notch in their belt. 3-1 and at the top of the North. Even though they are sitting atop the division, Week 6 would be their first AFC North test. The division has an attitude, inherited by the cities these teams call home.
Ask people, what do you think about AFC North? And it's it's a tough league. It's a tough division. It's hard-nosed football. It's goes back decades of rivalries and just it's exciting. It's fun to be in in a division like this.
The weather. It's very competitive, man. You go to Cleveland, they're stacked up front. You go to Baltimore, they're an aggressive bunch as well. And you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and you look how big and physical we are, and the same in Cincinnati.
The weather conditions that we get, and then just the types of teams that we play, just all the run game we get. I think this is just more of a real run division than other ones. It's just real hardcore, old school, and it's the best in the league for a reason.
The running game is a calling card for the division. That's why the Browns drafted Quinshon Judkins in the second round of this past draft. He's living up to the hype.
Quinshon Judkins, I love his patience. He goes through the hole, bursts through the hole, runs right around Theo Jackson for a big gain.
I can't say enough about what I'm seeing from Judkins. He's a tough runner. He's good inside. He finishes off his runs with violence. He's underrated in terms of his ability to bounce it to the perimeter and pop long ones. He had 60-yarder or so. They got called back in London last week that kind of highlights that. Got a lot of respect for those guys, man. We got a full day's work ahead of us.
The black and gold exit their bye week in first place, and they're once again the last team in the NFL to play its first division game as they continue the AFC's oldest rivalry by playing their first AFC North game against the Cleveland Browns at Acrisure Stadium.
I have to tell you this, I am excited. In fact, for the intros, they intro 12 guys. That's how good they are.
It was an honor. I'm truly blessed. I had no idea that was going to be the case leading up to the game. They told me kind of right before we went out there. So it was truly an honor and a blessing to be able to be that person.
Hey, don't lose sight of the big picture. Keep smashing 10. That's right. Keep smashing 10.
Gives to Judkins off the right side, and Judkins bottled up, nowhere to go, may have lost half a yard, as the Steelers' run defense has been very stingy against Judkins and a pretty good offensive line for this Browns team. Judkins trying for the stiff arm, and Slay stayed right with him and dropped him.
The defense would hold Judkins to just 36 yards, his lowest output of the season so far, allowing them to tee off on Gabriel from all angles.
It's Gabriel. The blitz coming in. Jalen Ramsey coming in off the left side of the defense. Hammers Gabriel for his first sack as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They were trying to get me up to celebrate. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk. I'm like, bro, move.
Towels waving, back looking, and Gabriel is going to be taken down. I don't know which of the four Steelers laying on top of Gabriel is going to get credit for this sack. 5-man rush again. Everybody met at the quarterback on that one.
He get up and we about to celebrate, and he saw the flag. I was like, no, it's holding on them. He turned around. Oh, yeah. And the whole crowd just went crazy.
Stepping up in the pocket, down he goes. Oh, Highsmith got there. Harmon got there as well as he is sacked back at the 25-yard line.
The Steelers weren't just getting splash plays on the defensive side of the ball.
And the play-action pass rolling out as a man wide open. It's Darnell Washington at the 40, rumbling up the right sideline and has it punched out from behind, but it trickles out of bounds. A quick play-action to a wide-open Darnell Washington.
I love this play so much. They think it's going to be a run. He just literally runs right up the seam and makes a little cut to the right.
And it is drilled right down the middle with a score. The Steelers 3, the Browns nothing. Caleb Johnson has checked into the game at the running back position. Power to the right of the formation. Rodgers gets a snap, will give to Johnson a good 9-yard run.
You know, we always follow the wave that the bigs provide. They get us to the secondary and we do the rest, and our O-line does a pretty good job at that.
Warren able to step through a potential tackle by Wright and pick up a first down for the Steelers. Oh, that is good hard running by Warren.
AFF, always falling forward.
Gainwell easily picks up the first down, bursting through a hole off right guard. Get the snap from Kuntz. It's a good snap. It's a good hold. The kick by Boswell, as you would expect, is good as well.
Boswell's kick is good.
Each of Pittsburgh's scoring drives in the first half ended in field goals. They were in the market for a little more.
Second half, as the Steelers get their opening possession of this half. Back to pass, looking left, throws. It's complete to Freiermuth.
It feels good to hear the Muth sound in the stadium.
Play action pass rolling to the right. Underneath has Metcalf this time. Metcalf racing up the right sideline and knocked down.
Beautiful play concept, beautiful setup. You've been running the ball effectively. So guess what? 8th man in the box, single high coverage, and then underneath, DK Metcalf just all alone by himself on the play. Chunky like Campbell's, baby, right now. This team is picking up some plays, and we're getting these 10, 25, now 10 again. You're wearing down this Cleveland Browns defense.
Mike Tomlin said, coming out of halftime, trying to finish off some of these drives. Rodgers gets a snap, play action pass, rolling to his right, looking downfield, looking, throws back across his body, and caught in the end zone. What a grab by Connor Hayward. Magnificent throw by Rodgers, and Hayward with his first touchdown of the season.
I just keep checking my bingo card for all the different guys that get involved for touchdowns. First, we started the season with Ben Skoranek. Now we've got Connor Hayward, the 4th tight end that's caught a catch today in this game alone.
I'll say everybody just been on the same page. You know, everybody's bought into what we have going on here. Everybody has their hand in the pile.
Back to pass, looking, pump fakes to the right, now wants to go to Metcalf, has him in the end zone, touchdown to Kalen Metcalf.
Beautiful play design, and you get a nice pump fake, a pump by Aaron Rodgers, and then back shoulder fade to Kalen Metcalf with a touchdown score.
Fourth straight game that DeKalen Metcalf has hauled in a touchdown pass. And by the way, in case you're just joining us, he prefers DeKalen to DK.
And that's what we're trying to promote here is the DeKalen.
Welcome to the North, baby. Hey, welcome to the North. Yeah, we just getting started, for.
And the defense was ending it.
Going toward the open end of the end zone here at Acrisure Stadium. Gabriel gets a snap. Back to pass, looking left. Under pressure. Herbig gets him back to the 14 and slings him to the turf.
I think a lot of it had to do with the scheme and, we had good coverage in the back end, giving me time to get home.
Looking and going to be hit from the backside, and he is going to be taken down. It is Herbig once again. A huge, huge imprint on this game for Nick Herbig over the last several minutes.
A lot of it goes to Coach Denzel, TJ, and Alex, our whole game planning going up until making sure we're getting off the rock. So that really helped me out in those 2 sacks.
I don't even know what the Hawaiian word is for game wrecker, but whatever it is, he has been an absolute terror.
And here's Ramsey on the backside, and Ramsey will track down Gabriel moving to his left, and that will be it. So the Steelers improving to 4-1.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough stretch, but this is the first back-to-back division games in a short turnaround week. So glad they can finish this out strong and make sure you keep guys as healthy as possible going into a short turnaround week in a Thursday night football game.
But Matt, it was a 23-9 victory for the Steelers.
I think it was a very business-like performance. And one of my biggest takeaways is defensively, I thought they created a lot of havoc and splash and big plays, and frankly could have had a lot more.
You win comfortable. Okay, we could easily look at it and say maybe you should have beat them 30-9 or 33-9, but you win comfortable. It's never in doubt.
Pittsburgh's offense is starting to click. One of the touchdowns was scored by tight end Connor Hayward. He's part of a group that wants to be the best in the league. And their coach, Alfredo Roberts, knows exactly how difficult that is.
It's I always kid. I think it's the best position in football because they are allowed to do so many different things. They have a chance to be an inline blocker. You have the skill set to play in the backfield.
Connor Hayward under center, and he's going to take the quarterback sneak.
Along with being flexed out and being part of the passing game as a receiver type.
What a catch by Freiermuth down to the 45 of Seattle.
Along with being a pass protector. So week to week, we got to find a way to get all those skills worked in and worked on. Freiermuth is really skilled to do a lot of different things with his size and speed and athleticism. He's been asked to do more in the passing game, and he's been effective at it, and he still wants to grow and be a better runner after catch guy. Darnell is what we sometimes miss, his athleticism in the passing game because he gets asked to do so much in the run game and a pass protector. And Jonnu Smith, who we acquired later on, he is really, really twitchy. He gives us something that probably didn't have in the past with the skill set to be able to have a very effective runner after the catch. He really has the speed to stretch the field, and the size and strength to play in line is called upon. Connor, being a skilled running back in the college arena, gives him a different skill set. He was blessed with leverage, but he does have a unique skill set.
Yeah, our tight end room is probably the most versatile I've been in ever playing football. We have just a bunch of playmakers. We have different skill sets, and so every time Art puts us in a position to succeed, which is always fun to be a part of.
Again, we spent so much time in OTAs and minicamp and particularly training camp talking about these tight ends, their different skill sets, how you can attack and kind of manipulate defenses with this group. Again, I think they're starting to get comfortable.
It's a unit that wants to make an impact. And with the OC being a former tight ends coach himself, their presence is inevitable.
My job is always not boring. Nice job of letting them go. Where's that ball bounce? It's on him. And when the coordinator is a former tight end coach, there's certain things that he likes to see done in a particular way. But it's really good when you see the things that these guys have worked hard on in practice come together on a game setting. If it's a run after catch drill that we worked on, if it's a positional block drill that they worked on in combination, and to see those things really show up in a game setting is rewarding for me.
It's said that nothing is more dangerous than a cornered animal, and the Bengal Tigers of Cincinnati are a cornered animal. Now the Bengals are hoping that Joe Flacco, just picked up the week before from Cleveland, can bring some semblance of potency to an offense that has floundered without Joe Burrow.
The game was dubbed the Icy Hot Bowl. And out of the gate, the Steelers were on fire.
And he's going to throw right, he's going to throw deep, intended for Metcalf. Beautiful throw, what a catch along the right sideline. Down close to the 30-yard line. An absolute bullet by Rodgers. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Looking, pump fakes to the left, now rolling to the left. Now he'll roll back to the right. All kinds of room out there. Surveying, looking, throws towards the end zone. Touchdown, Jonnu Smith. Pittsburgh Steelers go up as Rodgers throws a bullet to Jonnu Smith for the Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown.
Man, this gives you shades, echoes, and history. A little PTSD in a good kind of way of Ben Roethlisberger, right? You don't get what you want in the pocket. Move a little left. Boom, he moves right back to the right, directing traffic like a traffic controller, and then finds Jonnu Smith right in the middle of the end zone. Beautiful play, beautiful execution.
We have to check the GPS on that one, Tom. That GPS is going to be pretty high, I think. Higher than Fryermuth, that's all I know.
Flacco gets the snap, back to pass, looking, trouble, down he goes. Keanu Benton coming off the left edge. It's a loss of 6. That boot is up, and that boot by Chris Boswell is good. And the Steelers prove their lead by the score of 10-0.
But in this brawl in the jungle, the Bengals wouldn't be frozen out.
Flacco gets the snap, will throw lofting to the left, intended for Chase, and it's a touchdown.
Dang it.
Pass throwing on a crossing pattern to T. Higgins. Higgins straight up the middle of the field after the reception and in for the score, and the Bengals have taken the lead here at Paycor Stadium.
Cincinnati put up 20 unanswered points by the beginning of the third quarter, meaning Pittsburgh had found themselves in a shootout.
Let's go, baby! Let's go!
From an offensive perspective, if that's what's going on, you got to put your best foot forward and keep maintaining, whatever's working.
Finds a hole and Warren bursts through, stiff arm, heading down the right sideline and somersaulting out of bounds. Rodgers gets a snap, they bring 4. Rodgers throws towards the end zone, touchdown, he finds Pat Fryermuth for his first score of the season. Touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Aaron at halftime said if they keep putting the safety over top of DK, the middle of the field's going to be open, and it was a hell of a ball and hell of a read.
Something about Cincinnati gets this guy going, and I love to see it.
Great job. Great job. Great job.
Flacco gets a snap. He throw into the end zone. Touchdown to Noah Fant.
And the Bengals have answered the Steelers' score. This drive is very imperative for the Steelers.
I was just following, my linemen's blocks. Shout out to them. They provided everything that was there.
On the right side, Warren finds a big hole, cuts through, crosses the 40-yard line, still on his feet, into Bengals territory, twirled down inside the 40, all the way down at the 36 of the Bengals.
What an amazing run. I tell you what, Jaylen Warren is running like a man possessed.
Turns, play action pass, throws back, and finds Darnell Washington. Touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers.
The red zone threat, and of course, Darnell Washington.
And that quick drive has reset the fourth quarter here.
Need a stop defensively. Get the ball back in your offense's hand.
5:16 remains fourth quarter. Bengals enjoying a 30-24 lead. Snap back to pass. Looking, pressure coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt with a sack. Hayward the initial pressure, and Watt a big-time sack. And the Bengals will be forced to punt it away with under 3:30 and counting here. Steelers have all three of their timeouts remaining. Back pressure coming, eludes it, fires downfield, caught by Freiermuth. Freiermuth racing up the left sideline. The 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown Freiermuth. What a play! 68 yards. Rodgers with the late magic.
We're just going to rename the city Muthanati because Freiermuth is frying in Cincinnati anytime he plays. What a tremendous play! Pressure in his face. Aaron Rodgers delivers a dart.
The second one was very vaguely the same play, and he scrambled out of the pocket and just kind of sat there and turned around and realized there was no one there, so I had to get going. So.
Hey! That's Penn State right there! Yes, sir. Bad man! Yes, sir. Bad man!
That's the reason they brought us, all three of us here, bro.
That's what you do. Put our head in the pile.
But the Bengals would rely on the hands of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to ice the game.
Floated up the left sideline, complete, caught, and sliding down at the 5-yard line is T. Higgins. What an alert play by T. Higgins. Here's the kick. The kick is on its way, and that kick, as you can hear from the roar of the crowd here, is good, but that is the end of the game. The Steelers drop to 4-2. That's the end of the game. The final score, the Bengals 33, the Steelers 31.
It is not the result we wanted. It is not the mood that we were hoping to be in. As the Steelers fall to the Bengals 33-31. You go up 10. You fall behind 10. You scratch back in it and take the lead. And then just the ultimate frustrating ending. Weird things happen in divisional games. Weird things happen on Thursday nights.
Steelers on the road in a division game, Thursday night, that hasn't been great. And the thing that we talk about with Merrill Hodge all the time is, never underestimate a wounded or embarrassed professional athlete, and it was kind of all the above.
Man, a massive early season game coming up here for the Steelers. Two storied franchises, Aaron Rodgers storyline, a Steelers team trying to stay atop of their division and kind of wash out that bad taste of their mouth from last Thursday in Cincinnati against Aaron Rodgers, his old team coming to town.
It's the talking point of the week. Aaron Rodgers against the Green Bay Packers. 18 seasons, 4 NFL MVPs, and a championship is hard to forget.
I have a lot of great memories from my time there. A lot of great interactions with fans over the years. I grew up there. I spent 18 years there, from 21 to 39, so I'm thankful for my time there. I have a great relationship with a lot of people still in that organization, and this is not a revenge game for me. It's fun to be a part of this organization and the iconic Packers organization for so long, too.
It's an old-school matchup that goes back to the Steelers' first season in 1933. Although the game has changed drastically since then, on Sunday night, it might not look like it.
Well, the NFL allows each team to have 4 jerseys within their closet. It's a home, it's an away jersey, it's a color rush, and it's a classic. A classic uniform can stay in your closet for about 5 years. So we were getting to the point where that was cycling out, and we needed to go to another option for the team and for the fans.
That option would end up being the first uniform ever worn by the team. which had a rebirth in 1994.
In 1994, we had a very large city crest on the front of the jersey. And in the upper right-hand side, we had the small numbers. For today's TV requirements, there had to be a change. One of the pushbacks that we got in the design phase was to have large numbers, 8-inch by 4-inch, on the chest, so that the TV can easily be able to pick it up. From a yellow jersey standpoint, the back of the jersey being gold, it really lent itself to use black. On the front of the jersey, because of the stripes, we had to use a different color than black. So we decided to use white numbers outlined in black. We looked at different options of color of pants to go with the jersey. And one of the challenges we had, if we used a pant other than the tan pant, it would have made it a color rush version of the jersey, which means we would have to get rid of our existing color rush. So by changing the pants back to a tan pant, it made it back into that classic uniform.
The helmet is also a new take on an old classic.
We looked at different options. We looked at a black helmet, we looked at a gold helmet. Using the gold really coordinates better with the gold jersey, and it's something we hadn't worn for a while. And then looking at an option of matte, I think that plays well into the historical 1933 feel. It's a really cool feeling to be a part of this design process and be involved in what, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to wear on field. Our development team did a great job with these designs and actually see it come to life on field. And it's great to see fans wearing the product that you had a hand in designing.
It's a Sunday night full of plots and subplots, with the main storyline being a matchup of division leaders. The NFC North leading Packers take on the 4-2 and AFC North leading Pittsburgh Steelers. 18 years with the Packers, 10-time Pro Bowler, 4-time MVP, and of course, one we'd like to forget, Super Bowl 45.
There were shades of vintage Rodgers to get the Steelers started.
Rolling downfield, wants to throw it long, and has a man out there, and it's caught! And it is Roman Wilson along the right sideline, down to the 28-yard line. Let's go! Rodgers rolling out, finds him on the run.
He rolls out to his right, IDs Roman Wilson, who actually broke in. He threw the back shoulder fade, and Roman Wilson adjusted right before he went out of bounds. Beautiful play design, beautiful execution for the Steelers.
56-yard attempt, and it is good. The first point scored against the Green Bay Packers in the first quarter all season.
But the Pack would fire back.
That is complete to Tucker Kraft, the tight end, and the Packers on National Tight End Day get a touchdown from tight end Tucker Kraft.
The score would be the only points Pittsburgh would yield in the first half.
Not much doing there. Peyton Wilson, TJ Watt in there defensively for the Steelers. Over the middle, and it is incomplete. Joey Porter in coverage.
Defense holding up well when they get to third down.
It is incomplete, intended for Tucker Kraft. Warren is a lone setback. He'll get the pitch, and he will definitely get the first down. Bounces to the outside. Oh, looks for some contact. Turns it upfield.
Hey, he ain't not licked out of bounds.
Rolling out to the right, has DK Metcalf in the right flat. Metcalf down to about the 2. Rodgers turns, throws, slant, right, touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Beautiful execution by this Steelers offense. You kept putting the pressure on the Green Bay Packers, and of course, for it to all end in a touchdown, that was a beautiful drive.
That's why you keep chopping, baby, right? Keep chopping.
The Steelers were chipping away. But the tides of an NFL game can change as quickly as a snap.
Gets a snap, throws out quickly, screen to Savion Williams, scoots up the left sideline, and he is in for a Green Bay Packers touchdown. Jacobs is going to get to the edge, and Jacobs on the first play of the fourth quarter is run in for a Green Bay Packers touchdown. Crossing pattern, middle of the field, it's Kraft. Kraft racing towards the end zone and gets in for a Green Bay Packers touchdown, and it's another touchdown for Kraft and the Packers.
Great first half by the defense and by the offense, but you talk about it just kind of unraveling in the second half. Able to get a touchdown in the end, but it wasn't before, Packers reeled off all those points.
We just simply got to get a lot better in a lot of areas, in all areas, but some really specific areas that are critical to winning. We got a big game coming up here in a short period of time. We got to get in and look at this, man, and make the necessary adjustments in the effort to change the outcome of this thing.